Seriously, I mean, that's crazy.
The choice that I was going to help him. Like a lot of people online were crapping all over him back in the day. He had drama with Nikita Dragon. I've never screwed him over. I've never publicly humiliated him. I've never done any of that. And a lot of people who are buddy buddy with him right now have not always had his best interest. They didn't want him to succeed. They saw this new kid coming up and they're like, no, this is not going to happen. And I was constantly like, you're talented. You've got this. Keep going. What do you need? How can I help you? I had a lot of influence at the time. My channel was much bigger. Come on my channel, do my makeup. We started talking pre-CoverGirl, so we're talking before everything exploded. And I had his back then. I invited him to my wedding. He didn't have money for the flight or hotel, so I paid.
You guys do realize that she's actually using that fact that she paid for his flight and his hotel to try and blackmail the guy. I mean, he's gay, so I don't care. But it's interesting how she's only exposing this now. Why is she only exposing this now?
For that happily, and he felt a little bit bad about it, and I was like, hey, like, let's just have fun and you can do my makeup for my wedding and help me out. It's sad to think that I will never be able to watch my wedding video without seeing his face and thinking of him and thinking about all the things I hoped our relationship would be. Like, I always envisioned that he would grow up at some point. We'd kind of meet up as friends because he would be an adult. And it is such a unique industry that we're in that it feels really nice when you have someone to connect with through business that really understands the complexity of everything involved in having a YouTube channel, being a creator. I think I sent him a text one time. I was like, I can't wait until all of this is over and we're on a yacht of our own, not on a brand trip, and like, I think that I'll know you for the rest of my life. I wrapped as much love as I could around this kid, more from like a parental stance.
But you gotta ask yourself, why is she doing all this for a random guy? Hmm. Why is she doing this for a guy that's gay? Hmm. You just gotta ask yourself that question. Why? Why is she doing this? Why?
Than like a best friend stance. My husband, who he ran an agency, he was the VP of motion pictures. He knows the industry through and through. I don't talk about that end of my husband's career too often. He's so gifted with his view of how deals, contracts, business development. He's a master at it, and I love his brilliant mind. He was mentored by Roland Perkins, who was one of the original founders of CAA. He has built businesses and sold them. He is so insanely intelligent. Anytime that James would need help, he'd be like, Dad, what should I do? And he'd come over and he'd be like, I don't like my manager. Will you manage me? And James is like, no, I'm not doing that. I don't do that anymore. But your family, how can I help you? My husband would spend hours on the phone, looking over contracts, getting him in a better position. So we helped him get into Style Hall back when basically no one wanted to work with him because of his Ebola scandal, and everyone was really afraid that he was very toxic. But once again, we had his back. They got a boutique management around him. They finally taught him how to monetize his videos. He was making $90 a video, and because of me and my husband, he was making $2,500 immediately from a switch being flipped because his former management did not go in and do that for him. So that's just like a small sample.
2,500 on each video, and before he was making $90. That is a massive jump. Wow. It seems like she's telling you one side of the story and she's not actually telling us everything, because there is no way that she is all roses and he is all rotten apples, because when there's a story, there's one side to a story and then there's another side, and then somewhere in the middle there's a truth, right? So by her only telling us that she was this, she was that, she was doing all these good things for him, it's interesting how That's all she tells us. She's not telling us anything about the negative moments that she had with this so-called Charles. I don't watch any of these people, but I guess I'm just intrigued by the video.
Of some of the things that we've done for James Charles. Another thing I have an issue with is James Charles never even apologized to my James. If this was just about Halo, then, that this is our business. Apologize to him too, but that's not what this is about. Oh, this is just like really hard to do. Oh my God. Okay. I absolutely loved James Charles. My husband loved James Charles. He had an open door here in my home anytime he had a problem, anytime he needed life advice, business advice. We were here for him. I've promoted him. I have supported him. I've put him in so many videos. Every time that I hold up a Morphe item, I always say use code James, because I wanted him to make it and make enough money to feel like he had the resources to do what he really wanted to do with the creative videos that he always envisioned making. And that's why at the Halo launch, I got so emotional.
If it is creating content that we are all emulating right now, James Charles, you are changing everything. I love you so much.
I was, from the pit of my guts, so proud. So proud. In Gabriel's video, something that I thought was really offensive was the insinuation that my relationship with James Charles was transactional, and that I would be crazy to think that I had an exclusive with him when it came to my vitamins. And for someone that I helped when no one would, asking for absolutely nothing in return, never asking for a payback, never asking for a dime, any of the deals that were...
Is she serious? She didn't ask him for nothing? So you did all that for free? No one works for free, so... Something fishy about this. You're telling me you worked for free, you did everything for free, you didn't ask for anything in return? It's kind of fishy. I mean, I don't know. Maybe she's telling the truth. Look, if she's telling the truth, then she's stupid. And if she's lying, then she's a liar.
We're structured. If anyone ever offered a kickback, we'd say no, put it in James's pocket. Help James. Help him. Anytime I had an opportunity to help him make money.
But why are you doing so much for him? Why are you helping him? Why?
I would. If I could give him advice, I did. If he needed a safe landing, I was here. I mean, even to the point of putting myself at risk business-wise, I had him here not too long ago. Like, this was when a lot of scandal was happening in the community, and he came over to my house. It was really, really late at night, and he was super upset, and he's like, I can't sleep. I feel so upset. I don't know what to do. I'm so stressed out. Oh my God, what do I do? And it had to do with his Morphe deal, because the percentage they were offering him was not great, to be honest. And at the time, I personally felt that he deserved more. And this is like purely coming from a business perspective, because at the time they had dropped Laura and Manny and things were falling apart, and there was a separate issue with the vault and that whole thing. To the public, it didn't really look great. So James was kind of stressed out about that. He hadn't signed his contract, so I didn't feel like I was interfering with anything, giving him advice. He was worried about things, and I wanted to, of course, wrap him up and just make him feel good. And I negotiated another deal on the side for him that would have given him $1 million the following week, with a guarantee and with a higher percentage. Now, in business, what this does is it gives you leverage so that you can go over to your other deal that you haven't signed yet and feel like you have a backup plan. So maybe you want deal A really, really badly, but you're nervous to ask for more, or nervous to ask for things to be on your terms. You're terrified that if you do, you'll lose deal A, the one that you really, really want. But the psychology of having deal B waiting for you just in case allows you to have a stronger presence when going in and negotiating. So he had that thanks to me, and thanks to the hours that my husband spent making sure that he had that padding and that, safety net. And he went and talked to Linda, and he got a higher percentage. So literally millions in his bank account. My relationship with James Charles is not transactional. I have not asked him for a penny. I've never been on his Instagram. You know, we had a mini falling out after the Jaclyn Hill launch party. Everybody was over at my house. We were all talking. Things were said that I cannot unhear. At my dining room table. I cannot unhear it. When I confronted him on it, he cried, he apologized. I have so much empathy for people, and I really want to see people grow and step into themselves. And I'm more the person to ask, like, well, what made you feel that you needed to do XYZ? Like, what happened to you? Or like, why do you feel like you need to do that? I'm not perfect, but I have a desire to do better all of the time. And I have a desire to grow and step into myself more and more and more. And this life means so much to me. And I know that it's not just this. So my actions and my integrity mean so much. I need to know my truths, and we all know where we're messing up. We all know where we're bending things to be in our favor. And that being said, I can't be the person to point and write people off very quickly. It takes a lot for me to really want to not be associated.
What is she even talking about? She's not getting to the point. Get to the point. You're just talking gibberish. You're just talking around the subject to try and make the video longer.
With someone. And so I've always had a really forgiving heart, because I know to get here, I've required a lot of forgiveness myself. So we sorted our stuff out. You know, I had mentioned to him that, you know, it did kind of suck that he had never had me on his channel. And it's just really funny that we didn't end up collabing until it was in his favor. So he was popping off online about exposing the beauty community and doing a docu-series. And I was like, no. How entitled do you have to be to think that you have it rough? You are a 19-year-old millionaire. You do not get to wake up and, you know, stress out about how unfair your job is. Like, that's just so ridiculous to me.
That's true. I agree with her. I agree with her fully. He's complaining about his life and his job. Come on, man. And he's a millionaire. Come on.
So after hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of talk, he arrived at the decision to not do it. I was like, it's going to be like the downfall of your career. Don't do it. Like, don't expose the community, because you're part of the community. Like, do you think you're better than everyone? Because you're not.
Oh my days. I wish he made that a documentary exposing them, man. That would be so funny. Oh my days. This is funny shit.
I think something that I'm really, really big on is respect. And it was really hard to see the way he was treating Marlena from Makeup Geek. Like, I did not like that. I also don't think that it's cool to publicly shame a woman who paved the way. Get off your high horse and have some respect. You don't have any for the people who are in this industry longer than you, and that's the sad fact. I think one of the biggest reasons that I'm doing this video is because all of us are somehow forgetting that his audience is made up of 12 to 14-year-olds, like, dominantly, and he is role modeling to them his behavior. His behavior online is what they are seeing and what they are emulating as how they should behave to be successful and adored by the masses. Everything is over-sexualized, and that's the huge underlayer to this all, that I finally have had enough. The last phone conversation that James Charles and I had, he said some things telling me about a situation that happened in Seattle at my birthday, and it literally made me want to vomit. Oh my God, you tried to trick a straight man into thinking he's gay yet again.
Wow. Okay. If he did that, he deserves to be kicked off YouTube. Look, Tati, I respect you for this video. Definitely. Keep doing what you're doing, Tati. Keep doing what you're doing, Tati. Good job.
And somehow you're the victim. You know, it's really disgusting to manipulate someone's sexuality, especially when they are still, emerging into adulthood and don't quite have everything figured out. You are using your fame, your power, your money to play with people's emotions. You're threatening to ruin them. You're threatening to embarrass them. And you're doing that to have them behave sexually in your favor, even if they're straight. And you know what? That's not okay. That behavior is not okay. Whether you're a woman, a man, gay, straight, bi, whatever sexual orientation you are, that is.
I agree. But it's primarily women. I'm going to say it one more time. It's primarily women that do that shit. They use their sexuality to get what they want.
Your personal call, and it is not someone else's to take. It's not someone else's to play with. It's not someone else's to mess with. And how dare you laugh about it and make meme after meme and retweet and this and that and I love straight boys and make it a joke. Because this behavior is not normal. It's not okay. Cracking someone's sexuality is not an escape room. This is shit that will follow them for the rest of their lives. And you need someone to tell you to stop it. And that's exactly what I did in your kitchen in front of Gabriel Zamora. So I'm really shocked, Gabriel, that you really don't care about this at all and what is happening. That you are totally complicit with the situation, obviously, with the video that you made. All right, I'm pissed. I literally, eye to eye, had enough.
But that's the thing. I don't understand how guys that are straight can get tricked into having sex with a guy that's gay. How can you get tricked into having sex with a guy that you know is gay? That don't make sense, right? That doesn't make any sense. That don't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't understand. That doesn't make any sense, because if I'm sitting here and I like women, which I do, how am I going to get tricked into liking James Charles? Because I know he's gay. That don't make any sense.
Respect for you and love for you and care for you to tell you to go and get some help. I told you that this was not good and that you could have your career completely destroyed. His parents came to visit. They had dinner over at my house and they were lovely. And you guys loved meeting his parents. I was shocked that James even then was saying to his dad that every man is a little bit gay and that there's no such thing as a straight man. And, his dad's like, "You're wrong, James, you're wrong." If someone who is very masculine and has been with women decides that they're bisexual, that they want to explore, that's fine, so be it. But again, it's just it's not yours to take. So talking about that at the dinner table with his parents was kind of weird. Him talking explicitly about sex and things that he would like to do. And I was just I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I am used to this around, everyone else, but not his parents. I thought around his parents that he would not behave this way. It was just no big deal. Sucking dick and cock. I'm just oh my God, time and place. And you did it at my birthday dinner. And I made excuses for you then. You were talking in detail about things you wanted to do to the waiter. And when I said, "James, he's straight," your response was, "Doesn't matter, I'm a celebrity." So freaking gross. And you said that in front of my family, in front of my childhood friends. I had to call every one of them up the next morning and apologize on your behalf.
But isn't that what women do all the time?
Because it was so uncomfortable. And I've continued to do that, but it's just all kind of stacking up right now like this. When James Charles's parents left my home, Christy, you grabbed my hand and you said, "Thank you for looking out for my boys. Keep looking out for them." And I have.
That's crazy.
And I'm handing that back to you. You need to not be on Instagram liking comments and sharing with people that you're disappointed that I'm upset. You need to be not on Instagram. You need to be here in LA because your boys need you. I do also want to tell you guys, add insult to injury. The Sugar Bear hair thing, that was a blatant lie. Come on. You went to Coachella, somehow had a security issue, and magically Sugar Bear Hair is there with a contract in hand to save the day for you and all of your friends. No company would ever go out of their way to have an extra, handful of passes that cost thousands of dollars a piece like just in case, there's value there and there's a value exchange. Like Gabriel's correct about that. Brands know what they're doing. And that leads me to believe that this was orchestrated beforehand, but he had an emotional conflict because of me and promises he made to me behind the scenes. So he had to come up with a very clever story and didn't tell me right when he got back, but after the little bit was posted on their launch day. That part felt super, super shady to me, and it was so quickly like glazed over, and then it hopped back into, I've had the most stressful week of my life with boys. I have so much anxiety. And it's like, dude, like, oh my God, you saw me during my launch. You know what happened. You know about the coordinated event that happened. You were with me. You know what I went through to bring everything to life, the risk involved in going into a category that no one wants to get into because it's so hard and challenging. And it's not a palette. It's not some.
This is crazy that she's exposing this kind of stuff. It's actually insane. Like, wow.
Thing that people buy multiples of. People are not going to buy a hair vitamin from over here and one from over here because that would be too much for your system to handle. So when you pair up with my #1 competitor, it's embarrassing to me. Is it going to crush my business? No. But it's embarrassing, and you know that because of things I've had to deal with in the past. And if you don't have my back, at least have your subscribers back, dude. Like, are you kidding me? You say you don't like this brand at all, and that it would be embarrassing. So like stick with that. Like stick to what you speak. Practice what you preach. You say that you're the realist, you can't be bought. Well, you just were. I don't think you were in a dangerous situation. I really, really don't. You know fair well how crowds are. So if you did think there was going to be a dangerous situation, I think you would have brought your own security. You have the millions and millions and millions in your account to do that because you are the first person